Olivia, thank you so much. Well, Tesla's market value is hovering around the $20 billion mark. The automaker has captured 12% of the luxury sports car category in California, and last month it outsold Jaguar, Porsche, Land Rover, and Cadillac in the state of California. Also last month, analyst Andrea James raised Tesla from $90 to $200 a share. With more, let's bring in Andrea James from Seattle and Bloomberg News' own car guru, Matt Miller. And Andrea, let's kick it off with you. You've been upbeat about this name. I mean, how far can it go, especially for a company that really hasn't produced any kind of profits here?
Yeah, so Tesla's getting a time premium. I think that's how I look at the valuation now. I do have a $200 price target on Tesla. And if Tesla does everything they say they're going to do over the next few years, then the stock's not overvalued. And it's getting a bit of a premium on the time to execute. So basically what's being priced in is what Tesla can do 5 years from now.
Matt, when we talk about premium, I mean, this is a stock that trades, about a 271 PE. It's up more than 400% this year. I mean, are the expectations just off the charts?
Well,
Don't make sense.
PE, depending on which accounting standard you look at, right? Because you have to look at the right one in order to see a profit there. I think the interesting thing is just how much it's worth. You know, somebody was talking about the exclusivity of Ferraris and how they're limiting their production, cutting it back in order to boost exclusivity. That company is owned by Fiat, which also owns Alfa Romeo, Lancia, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Maserati, and is only worth $10 billion. Now, Tesla, which sells one car and only 5,000 of them a month, is worth $20 billion. This is, to me, amazing. And Andrea, I was thinking about the supply-demand. Is it the case that they're only making or only selling 5,000 a month because that's just as many as they could make? If they doubled production, would they sell that too?
Yeah, so it's 5,000 a quarter, and they are production constrained. A lot of it actually has to do with the supplier network. The suppliers have to ramp to supply to Tesla so that way they can ramp. The factory can do probably about 40,000 vehicles, and that's where they want to, per year without any more investment, and that's where they want to get to next year. But they are supplier constrained as well.
That's what I was wondering. I mean, where do you think demand is? Because they'll basically buy as many as Elon Musk can make. How far does that go? Is the demand at 60,000 a year? Is it at 100?
So it's an interesting question because, you know, I would have said, you know, maybe 50,000 a year on the Consumer Reports report that it's the best car on the market, but now it just got the report that it's the safest car on the market. And so that even changes the demand equation even still further because it's the safest car you can drive. Electric vehicle technology is really disruptive, and you're seeing what that means here in Tesla.
But talk to us about the potential consumers here. I mean, the base price, I think, for the Tesla S is about $71,000, but you're talking about really $100,000 to probably get the car you really want. I mean, Andrea, how big is that marketplace, realistically?
Yeah, so I think 40,000 vehicles a year is 2% market share on that market. So it's 2%. So if they were to do 4% market share, then you're at 80,000 vehicles a year. So there's a lot of percents of market share for them to capture. They have to make the vehicles to meet that demand.
So, and they've done obviously a great job designing this vehicle. I know a couple people who bought it.
People like how it looks.
They absolutely love it. Like you said, it's got an incredible, I mean, they broke the equipment when they were testing it for safety, so no one even knows how safe it is. But I wonder what you think about other competitors coming into the space, because it's not going to be long before the likes of General Motors and Ford realize that there is money to be made here. I mean, every car company could get into this space arguably fairly easily, right?
No, because Tesla has a lot of IP in their battery technology and their thermal management. So a lot of it has to do with Tesla's, they have a lot of IP in the battery, and that technology is 5 to 10 years ahead of the competition, and they get an amazing range, and they're using this time, they've got a time advantage, a first mover advantage. They're using this time to build out a charging network that so even if somebody were to come into the market maybe a couple years from now, Tesla's already going to have a charging network built out that still gives them further advantage, I think.
Will it only work with Tesla's, their supercharger network?
They're proprietary to Tesla right now, yeah. And because they have such a long range on the car can go 300 miles, they don't need as many superchargers stationed around the country to get from point A to point B. Whereas if you have a shorter range, such as like the BMW i3, for example, the electric range I think is under 100 miles, you'd need more superchargers to fulfill a nationwide driving network.
Well, and who could drive around in the car that cramped? I mean, that's meant only for city travel, the i3, right?
Andrea, help me out though, because what makes you so sure that in years from now, a few years from now, that this isn't going to be a great Harvard Business School case study of a company that investors piled in, the stock just shot off the charts, and then it came undone? I mean, this is a company that loses money on every vehicle it makes right now.
Not exactly. The gross margins are positive, even extracting the ZEV credits as of Q1. So they are making money on the cars they're selling. I try to think of like the Apple analogy. You know, when the iPhone, in 2007, the iPhone had less than 1% market share. It was the most expensive phone on the market. People scoffed at the price. 5 years later, 2012, Apple had 8% market share on the iPhone. Smartphones changed a lot of the way we live. I see the same thing with Amazon.com, another company that gets a time premium on what they can do on the stock valuation. Amazon.com has changed the way we live. It's changed consumer behavior. And Tesla, as far as the valuation on Tesla, it's kind of like we know what they can do, and then calling the valuation, it's like you have to ask yourself, what are going to be the bumps in the road? And then the answer to that is, can this management team manage through those bumps? And I think investors are saying, yeah, this is a management team that can manage through the bumps in the road that might come up over time.
Definitely an interesting story, definitely an interesting company story and a stock story. Good to get some time with you. Andrea James over at Dougherty & Company joining us from Seattle. Thank you. And of course, our own car guru.
I think that's my official title.
All right, good to know. Our own Matt Miller. Thank you, Matt. Well, coming up, another wireless carrier signing on to offer coverage in New York City subway stations, Wi-Fi going underground. That's coming up next. This is Taking Stock.